Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss a new topic, determinants. Now what is a determinant? A determinant is a square array of numbers like this, written within two straight line segment. Now these subscripts you see A11, A12, A13, these are 11, 12, 13 are called subscripts. Now these actually A11, A12, A13, A1n are called elements of the determinants, and the subscripts actually denote the position of the element in the determinant. Suppose A23. A23 means the element lies in the second row and third column. A row column, as you know, row means these are row, first row, second row, third row, and these are columns, first column, second column, third column. So A23, this subscript 23 denotes actually the position of the element in the determinant. A23 means it lies in the second row and third column. Now this is important, square. The determinant shape should be always square. Square means the number of rows is equal to number of columns. You see here there are n rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are n rows, and there are also n columns. 1, 2, 3. These are n columns. So the number of rows equal to the number of columns. That means it is always a square shaped one. So determinant means always square shaped. Now an n by n determinant, that is where the determinant has n rows and n columns, we say the determinant is of order n or nth order determinant. Now for example, suppose let us consider this determinant 2, 5, minus 7, 1. Here these 2, 5, minus 7, 1 are called the elements of the determinant, and it is obviously a second order determinant. Why? Because there are 2 rows and 2 columns. Similarly, if you see this determinant, here you will find that there are 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 3 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 3 columns. So this is a third order determinant. Now a determinant has a fixed value. Now how to find the value of a determinant? Let's see how to find the value of first a second order determinant. Suppose let us consider this determinant 2, 5, minus 7, 1. First, value of a determinant. Now value of a determinant means, suppose for second order determinant, second order determinant, suppose A, B, C, D. Suppose this is a second order determinant, then its value will be determined by this formula A into D minus C into B. That is A into D minus C into B. That is cross product, and the sign in between will be minus. So this is the formula for finding the value of a second order determinant. So for example, suppose 2, 3, minus 5, 4. Now what will be the value of this second order determinant? Using this formula, it will be 2 into 4 minus 5 into 3. So we have 4 to the 8 and minus plus 3 5 is a 15. So the value will be 8 plus 15, 23. So this way we can find the value of a second order determinant. Next, how to find the value of a third order determinant. For that, we need to know the concept of minors and cofactors. So let's go into concept of minors and cofactors. Now what is a minor? Suppose the determinant is A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. Suppose this is a third order determinant. Third order why? Because there are 3 rows and 3 columns. So it's a third order determinant. Now how to find the value of this determinant? For that we need to know the concept of minors and cofactors. Now what is minor? Now suppose the element A1, the minor of A1 will be, the minor of this element A1 will be, look at this row, first row, the A1 lies in the first row and also A1 lies in the first column. So the row and the column in which the element lies, you have to cover that row and column, cover up that row and column, and the remaining part will be the minor of this element A1. That means if we cover this, then the remaining part means this B2, C2, B3, C3, this will become this in determinant form, B2, C2, B3, C3 in determinant form will be minor of A1. Now what is the minor of, every element has a minor in a third order determinant. Now suppose minor of A2 or minor of suppose B1. What will be the minor of B1? Minor of B1 is equal to B1 lies in the first row and B1 lies in the second column. So you have to cover this first row and second column, you have to cover this up. So covering B1 lies in the first row and B1 lies in the second column. So you have to cover the first row and the second column up, and the remaining elements, that is A2, C2, A3, C3 will be the remaining elements that in the determinant format will be the minor of B1, that is A2, C2, A3, C3 in the determinant form will be the minor of B1. Similarly, we can find the minor of each element of this third order determinant. Suppose we want to find the minor of B2. So minor of B2 will be, you see B2 lies in the second row and in the second column. So if we cover the second row and the second column, if we cover the second row and the second column, the remaining elements are A1, C1 and A3, C3. So that in determinant form A1, C1 and A3, C3 in determinant form will be the minor of B2. So to find the minor of any element, you just have to see that which row and which column the element lies, and that row and that column you have to cover up, and the remaining elements in the determinant form will be the minor of that particular element. Okay, suppose you want to find the minor of C3. So minor of C3 is equal to, look at C3 lies in third row and third column. So you just cover the third row and cover the third column. So the remaining elements, that is A1, B1, A2, B2 in the determinant form will represent the minor of C3. So the minor of C3 will be A1, B1, A2, B2. So this way each element we can find the minor, etc. Now we also need to know the concept of cofactors. So what are cofactors? Cofactors are nothing but minor with proper sign. So suppose the third order determinant is A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, and A3, B3, C3. Now cofactor of, suppose A1. Cofactor of A1 will be, as I said, cofactor means minor with proper sign. Now how to determine the sign? For sign determination, you just have to write -1 whole to the power the row number plus the column number in which the element lies. Now A1 lies in the first row, so the row number is 1, plus A1 lies in the first column, so the column number will also be 1. So this will determine the sign of the cofactor. Now this into the minor of A1. So that is actually cofactor. Now -1 whole to the power 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, an even number, and -1 to the power even number means it is plus, so it will be plus sign, and minor of A1, as I said, you have to cover the first row and the first column up, and the remaining elements, that is B2, C2 and B3, C3 in the determinant form will represent the minor of A1. Now the proper sign before it will be plus, following this rule of sign determination for the cofactor of A1. So this way we can find the cofactor of any element in the determinant. Suppose we want to find the cofactor of B1. Cofactor of B1. Now to determine the sign, what we have to do, -1 whole to the power, look at B1 lies in the first row, so row number will be 1, plus B1 lies in the second column, so the column number will be 2, into the minor of B1. So the sign will be -1 whole to the power 1 plus 2, which is 3, an odd number. So -1 to the power odd number means minus, and minor of B1, as I said, you have to cover the first row and the second column, then the remaining elements A2, C2, A3, C3 in the determinant form will be the minor A2, C2, A3, C3. Because B1, you see B1 lies in the first row and B1 also lies in the second column. So first row and second column you have to cover, and the remaining elements, that is A2, C2, A3, C3, will be the minor of B1, and the sign before it will be minus for the cofactor of B1. So cofactor of B1 is equal to minus A2, C2, A3, C3. Now, suppose we want to find the cofactor of A3. Cofactor of A3. Cofactor of A3 will be, for sign, we have to write minus 1 whole to the power. You see A3 lies in the third row. So the row number is 3, plus A3 lies in the first column. So the column number is 1 into the minor of A3. Now minor of A3 is, A3 lies in the third row, so you have to cover the third row, and A3 lies in the first column, so you have to cover the first column. So covering the third and the first column, we get B1 C1 B2 C2. B1 C1 B2 C2. So this will be the this means minus 1 whole to the power 3 plus 1, that is 3 plus 1 means 4. 4 means an even number. Minus 1 to the power even number means plus. So we have plus B1 C1 B2 C2. So this way we can find the cofactors of each element of a third order determinant, etc. Now there is also a shortcut way to find the signs of cofactors of each element. Suppose the rule is shortcut to remember. The rule is you start from the top left hand corner element. Top left hand corner element means A1. So that the sign of A1, cofactor of A1 will always be plus. The sign of cofactor of A1 will always be plus. After that, in a chain you have to go plus, minus, plus, then minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. Alternately you have to go in a chain, that is plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, like this. So plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. In a chain you have to go alternately, changing plus, minus, like this. So you will remember like this: plus, minus, minus, plus, minus, plus. This thing you have to remember for shortcut to for the cofactors of each element of a determinant, of a third order determinant. Okay, so this is the concept of minors and cofactors. Now how to find the value of a third order determinant using this concept. Now to find the value of a third order determinant, you also have to know the expansion of a determinant, that is how to expand a determinant. So expansion of a determinant. this is very important. Expansion of a determinant, by which we know how to find the value of a third order determinant. Now, suppose a third order determinant is A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. Suppose this is a third order determinant. And a determinant is generally denoted by the symbol delta or capital letter D. Okay. Now, the expansion of a third order determinant means you consider any row or any column. Suppose we consider the first row. Then first element is A1. So A1 into, you have to multiply with the corresponding cofactor of A1. That is A1 cofactor, suppose we denote it by capital A1, plus B1 into the corresponding cofactor. Suppose the corresponding cofactor of B1 is capital B1, plus C1 into the corresponding cofactor of C1. Suppose we denote by capital C1, the corresponding cofactor of C1. So this is actually this is called the expansion of a third order determinant. Now we can also, this is actually expansion by first row. Or first row we denote by R1. R1 means first row. First row in short we write R1. R1 means first row. Next, we can also expand by any other row or column. Suppose we want to expand by second row, then we can write A2 into corresponding cofactor capital A2, plus B2 into corresponding cofactor capital B2, plus C2 into corresponding cofactor capital C2. So this is actually expansion by second row or R2. Now the question is whether we will get the same value if we expand by the first row or if we expand by the second row. Actually we will get the same value every time, whichever be the row or column we want to expand. Okay, if we expand by first row or by second row or by first column or by third column, whatever row or column we expand, we will always get the same value every time. Okay, so we can suppose that's why I'm writing equal to, because the value of this expansion will always be equal to the value of this expansion. So suppose if we want to expand by second column or first column, suppose we can expand, no problem. A1 into capital A1 plus A2 into capital A2 plus A3 into capital A3. So this is actually expansion by first column. That is first column is denoted by C1. C1 means column 1. Similarly, if we want to expand by suppose second column, we can expand. So B1 into capital B1 plus B2 into capital B2 plus B3 into capital B3. So this expansion is by actually second column. That is expansion by second column means C2. C2 means column 2. So we can expand by any other row or column and we will always get the same answer. So so we can write where this AI, BI, CI, that is this A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2. So AI, BI, CI are the cofactors of small ai, small bi, small ci respectively. Where I is equal to 1, 2, I may be 1, 2 or 3. So capital A, capital BI, capital CI are the corresponding cofactors of small a, small bi, small ci. I is equal to 1, 2 or 3. So this thing we have to remember to expand a third order determinant. So let's give an example. The concept will be clear if we give examples. Suppose a determinant, let us consider a determinant delta is equal to a third order determinant. Delta is equal to, suppose 2, 3, minus 1, 0, 5, minus 2, 4, 0, 1. Suppose this is a third order determinant. Now how to expand? We can expand by any row or any column. We will always get the same answer. So let's check. Suppose we want to expand by the first row. So what will come? 2 into the cofactor of 2. As I said, A1 into capital A1 plus A2 into capital A2 plus A3 into capital A1, B1, C1. So A1 into capital A1 plus B1 into capital B1 plus C1 into capital C1. That is each element of the particular row multiplied with the corresponding cofactors. That is the expansion. Now 2 into its cofactor. 2 multiplied with its cofactor. So 2 into what will be the cofactor of 2? As I said, remember for the cofactors we need to remember the sign. Plus, minus, plus. This is the shortcut to remember the sign. Plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus, minus, plus. This thing you have to remember. The top left hand corner, it will always start with plus, then alternately it will change plus, minus in a chain. So you have to remember this as a shortcut. Now the cofactor of 2 will be with plus sign. Now 2 into plus the determinant means the minor, that is you have to cover the row and the column in which 2 lies, that is you have to cover these two first row and 2 lies in the first row and first column, so you have to cover them, and the remaining part will be the minor 5 minus 2 0 1. So 2 into its cofactor is 5 minus 2 0 1. This is the minor actually, and together with the sign plus. So 2 into plus 5 minus 2 0 1. Next 3 into plus 3 into plus 3 into, but the sign cofactor of 3 will be with minus sign. So we need to give a minus here. 3 into minus something, that means minus. So minus 3 into what will be the cofactor of 3? The cofactor of 3 will be, as I said, first you find the minor. You just 3 lies in the first row and in the second column. So you have to cover this row and column, and then the remaining elements, that is 0 minus 2 4 1. 0 minus 2 4 1. This is the minor of 3, and the sign of cofactor will be minor with proper sign, and the sign of the cofactor will be minus, because 3 lies in this position and the sign of this position is minus. Okay, so minus 3 into this. Next we have to write plus we are writing because the sign is plus. in this position. Okay, so minus 1 into what will be the cofactor here? Minus 1 cofactor will be minus 1 lies in the first row and in the third column. So first row and third column you have to cover, and the remaining elements are 0, 5, 4, 0, 0, 5, 4, 0 in the determinant form will give you the minor, and the sign of the minor here is plus, because cofactor here, you know, it has plus sign in this position. So because minus 1 is this position and the corresponding sign of this position is plus, so you have to give a plus sign. Okay, so look at the element 2, 3, minus 1, 2, 3, minus 1, and the corresponding cofactor multiplied. The cofactor of 2 is, look at the sign, 2 lies in this position, the sign is plus, so plus 5 minus 2, 0, 1. 5 minus 2, 0, 1 is the minor of 2, but with sign plus it will be the cofactor. Next, 3 into this element, 3 into, what is the cofactor of 3? The cofactor of 3 is, first you consider the minor. The minor is 0, minus 2, 4, 1, write it, and the sign will be minus because the position of 3 is, this is the position of 3 and its sign is minus for the cofactor, so you have to give minus 3. Okay, then look at minus 1. Minus 1 I have written, and the cofactor of minus 1 you have to multiply with the cofactor of minus 1. The cofactor of minus 1 is 0, 5, 4, 0. This is the minor with proper sign is plus here, because the position of minus 1 is here and the sign here is plus, so you have to give plus sign. So this way we can expand a determinant by first row. So you have to write expanding by first row. Expanding by first row. First row you can write in short R1. First row means row 1. So expanding by R1 we get this. Now what will be the value? As I said, 2 into the second order determinant you have to cross multiply. 5 into 1. 5 into 1, that means 5, minus 0 into, as I said, you have to cross multiply like this for the second order determinant to find the value of a second order determinant. So you have to write 5 into 1 means 5, minus 0 into minus 2 will be 0. Remember, the sign in between is always minus. Next, minus 3 into cross multiply here also, 0 into 1 will be 0. Next, minus 4 into minus 2 will be 4 to the 8, minus 8, but minus 8 means it will be plus 8. Remember the sign. The sign in between is always minus, but you have to consider the element with sign also. So when we are multiplying 4 into minus 2, it is minus 8, but before it is already minus, so minus 8 is plus 8. So don't confuse with the sign. Sign is very important here. So this will be 0 plus 0 into 1 is 0, minus 4 into minus 2 will be minus plus 8. Next, plus minus 1, that means minus, plus minus 1 means minus 1, minus 0 into 0, it will be, sorry, you have to give first bracket. 0 into 0 is 0, minus 5 into 4 will be 20. So what will be the value? 2 into 5 minus 0 means 2 into 5, 10, 3 into 8 minus 24, minus 20, so plus 20. So we have the value now. 20 plus 10 is 30, 30 minus 24 is 6. So this is the value of this third order determinant. Now let's see, this we have expanded by R1. Now let's see what value comes if we expand by any other row or any other column. As I said, always we will get the same value whichever row or column we expand. So let's check with the same determinant. Suppose we want to expand by first column. Let's see whether same value comes. You remember the value is 6 here. So and we have expanded by the first row here, but now we will expand by the first column and we will show you that the same value 6 will come. So first column is 204. So you have to multiply 2 with its cofactor, which is plus the minor of 2, which is 5 minus 2, 0, 1. Then 0 sign is minus, so you have to write minus 0 into cofactor of 0 is cover this second row and first column, and we will get 3 minus 1, 0, 1. Actually we need not write this because 0 into anything is 0, so we can skip this part also. Then plus 4 into plus, why? Because the sign here is plus, that's why plus 4 into the cofactor of 4 will be, you just cover the 4 lies in the first row, first column and third row, so you have to cover first column and third row, and we will get 3 minus 1, 5 minus 2. So 3 minus 1, 5 minus 2. Now the value of this determinant will be 2 into 5 into 1 is 5 minus 0 into minus 2 is 0 minus this will be 0, so minus 0 plus 4 into 3 into minus 2 is minus 6 minus 5 into minus 1. That means here again you don't confuse with the sign. Minus 5 into minus 1. 5 into minus 1 is minus 5, but already there is a minus before it. So minus 5 into minus 1, that is minus 5. So it will be minus minus plus 5. Okay. Be very careful with sign here. 3 into minus 2, 3 to the minus, 3 to the 6 minus, so it will be minus 6, and minus 5 into minus 1. So minus minus 5, that means plus 5. Okay. So be very careful about sign in case of determinants. Now 2 into 5 minus 0, that means 10, minus 0 means you don't have to write, plus 4 into minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1. So 4 into minus 1 is minus 4. So 4 into minus 4, that means minus 2 into 5 is 10 minus 0 and okay minus 0 plus 4 into, so it is minus 4. Minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1, so 4 into minus 1 is minus 4. So we have actually 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4 is 6. So as I said, you see the same value 6 is coming. Here we have expanded by first column. So you have to write expanding by first column means C1. C1 means short form of first column, column 1. Okay. So here you see that here we have expanded by first column, but we are getting the same answer 6. In the last case, we expanded by first row or by R1. Also we got the answer 6, but here we have expanded by the first column or by C1, and we also have got the same answer 6. So you can check with any other row or any other column and you will find the same answer always, and it will be 6. Okay, so you can check yourself. So this is actually what is called the expansion of a determinant, and by this way we can find the value of any third order determinant. Okay, so that's all for today. In the next class I will discuss the properties of a determinant.